Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli. Happy late Easter. Yeah, I know. 5 days after Easter, and, I was planning to upload this top 10 video the day after Easter, but unfortunately, I didn't have time to finish it, and yeah, so you're watching it on Friday, and yeah. So that's right, you read the title of this top 10 video. I'm counting down the top 10 best Disney rabbits. And yeah, this does make sense, and because, Easter. There have been plenty of, great Disney rabbit characters, and, everybody has their favorite Disney rabbit. And that's why I decided to make a top 10 list of the best Disney rabbits. So with all that being said, sit back and enjoy the top 10 best Disney rabbits. Skippy from Robin Hood. Yeah, this little rabbit, he actually is a pretty good, Disney character rabbit. He has a big part in, Robin Hood because, I guess you could say, like, Robin kind of took him under his wing because, on Skippy's birthday, he received a special birthday present from Robin himself, gave him a hat like his, and he gave him his first ever, like, bow and arrow. And, of course, there was that sequence where afterwards, Skippy and his friends, like his siblings and his friend Toby the Turtle, they go out and he, tries out his bow and arrow. And, of course, meeting Maid Marian. And of course, at times, even Skippy helped out Robin Hood, like using the bow and arrow. Which, yeah, he was a very brave kid, definitely. And he knew what he was doing, especially since at the end of Robin Hood, he's going off with Little John and Robin and Maid Marian, and as he says to Toby, Robin and Maid Marian are gonna have kids, so somebody's gotta watch over them. So. Okay, and I guess that would make him the uncle? I don't know, that just popped in my head, I don't know. But yeah, Skippy, he was a pretty good, rabbit kid, and for Robin Hood, and as I said, what a brave little lad he was. So yeah, making the number 10 spot is Skippy from Robin Hood. Lucky Jack from Home on the Range. Alright, I know that Home on the Range is, not the best Disney animated feature film, and it doesn't get the love and respect, but there are those like myself that actually do like Home on the Range, and I grew up with this. I watched it a bunch of times, and Lucky Jack, I think he was a pretty good character, and he was definitely one of my favorite characters from the film. Lucky Jack, because, he is one of the very first characters we see when the movie opens, and we see him a little bit at the beginning, but, like, close to, like, say, 1 hour to the film, that's when he joins with our three main cows, because, he shares a lot in common with them, and especially with Maggie, because where Lucky Jack used to live, his home was invaded by Alameda Slim, and of course he's wanting revenge and to get Alameda Slim as well, and thus he joins our three main cows, Maggie, Grace, and Mrs. C, that is Mrs. Calloway. And, he had such a great voice, and his catchphrase, this happens all the time, and with his peg leg, that was pretty cool. Yeah, Lucky Jack having his moments, like hitting Alameda Slim with a pan, I want to say, and how, Buck used Lucky Jack's peg leg to, change the points on the train tracks. Yeah. Lucky Jack, I think, is a pretty good, decent Disney rabbit character, and for him, making the number 9 spot. the hare from the Silly Symphony cartoons. Yes, so the hare from the Tortoise and the Hare stories, the shorts of Silly Symphonies. Because what a mischievous rabbit he is, because we all know the story of the Tortoise and the Hare. Like, the Tortoise and the Hare, they have a race, and the hare being the fastest one, and the tortoise, well, being a turtle, he's slow. And at one point, the hare, knows that it will take some time for the tortoise to catch up, and, he fools around, and, and I think at one point, yeah, like he goes to sleep, and that's how it is in the story. But of course, he is outsmarted by the tortoise, and yeah, as we all know, the tortoise does win the race. And then there was, I want to say a sequel short to that cartoon, of Silly Symphonies, where the tortoise and the hare have a boxing match. And of course, yeah, wouldn't you know it, yeah, the tortoise does win. Yeah, and it makes sense for the hare to, be on this top 10 list because, he was, one of the, first, early Disney rabbit characters right next to, say, Oswald. So, yeah, he definitely deserves being on this top 10 list and making the number 8 spot. Briar Rabbit from Song of the South and Splash Mountain. Okay, so why not? Briar Rabbit totally deserves to be in this top 10 list. He is a pretty good Disney rabbit character. So funny and, very smart, and of course, outsmarting Brer Fox and Brer Bear, especially because, when, he's almost about to be eaten by Brer Fox, tricking Brer Fox into throwing him into the Briar Patch, believing that throwing him in the Briar Patch will kill Briar Rabbit. But of course, no. Briar Rabbit lives in the Briar Patch. That's where he was born and raised. And even say when, he tricked them into thinking, well, and especially to Brer Bear, that there was a laughing place. But, when Brer Bear is trying to find the laughing place, all he finds is a beehive. And of course, that defeats our two main villains. And the same thing, on the Splash Mountain attraction, actually, because on the Splash Mountain attraction, the laughing place does exist. And at one point, Brer Rabbit being caught by Brer Fox, and just like in Song of the South, Briar Rabbit tricking Brer Fox into throwing him into the Briar Patch, and thus, the riders on the log flume dropping down, thinking you're going in the Briar Patch. That's the magic and illusion to that whole thing. And of course, yeah, Brer Fox and Brer Bear being defeated, and Briar Rabbit safe and sound in his home, the Briar Patch. I tell you, because, Briar Rabbit, he's such a funny, hilarious, Disney rabbit, and the funny things that he does, and again, outsmarting the two main villains of Song of the South and Splash Mountain. Yeah, and as I said, Briar Rabbit, he rightfully deserves to be in this top 10 list, and making the number 7 spot. The White Rabbit and the March Hare from Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, so why not just have both of them make the number 6 spot? Yeah, they're both from Alice in Wonderland. Why not? The White Rabbit and the March Hare, they're two pretty memorable Disney rabbits for sure. And from, a very memorable piece of Disney animation. The White Rabbit, of course, as we all know, is the reason and is the responsibility for Alice following him straight into Wonderland. Alice just trying to chase down and follow the White Rabbit to where he's going, like he's late for a very important date. And even when, say, she makes her way at one point to the White Rabbit's house, and the rabbit telling Alice to fetch him his gloves, spare gloves and so on. And of course we find out where the White Rabbit was going to, because he serves with the Queen of Hearts. And the March Hare, well, because, the March Hare being the Mad Hatter's sidekick, I guess you could say, and both of them having an obsession for tea. And especially when at one point, the White Rabbit shows up at the tea party, and the Mad Hatter and March Hare, they just deliberately, like, take his watch and seeing if there's a problem with it. And at one point, yeah, because the watch is destroyed. I tell you, because, like, the White Rabbit and the March Hare, again, they are definitely, like, memorable Disney rabbits, and, you know, the White Rabbit being voiced by Bill Thompson, who, as we all know, after Alice in Wonderland, would go on to voice Mr. Smee in Peter Pan. Same thing goes with Catherine Beaumont, who voiced Alice, would go on to voice Wendy. And the March Hare being voiced by Jerry Conala. I gotta tell you, because seeing pictures of Jerry Colonna and the, like, reference shots that they did for Alice in Wonderland, seeing him act as the March Hare with those big, like, bulgy eyes that he has that, like, they really pop. Like, you can definitely tell, because, like, they put some likenesses and references of him to the March Hare, and I think that goes for the eyes. You can definitely tell. So, yeah. Again, the March Hare and the White Rabbit, very well memorable Disney rabbits, and, of course, they had to be in this top 10 list, because, yeah, they come from a true Disney animation gem, which being Alice in Wonderland. So, yeah. So, yep, making the number 6 spot, the White Rabbit and the March Hare from Alice in Wonderland. Thumper from Bambi. Once again, another memorable Disney rabbit, obviously making the top 10 list. Like, what can you say about Thumper? Like, he's a cute and, like, funny, you know, little rabbit at the beginning of the film. And, of course, when we see him a bit older, and especially when he falls for that lady bunny, which that was pretty funny. And, of course, his, like, iconic, you know, thumping sound, because he gets the name Thumper because he thumps his foot. And moments between him and Bambi and along with Flower, pretty good. And especially, like, you know, Thumper helping Bambi, like, know which is which, you know, bird, flower, butterfly. And, you know, even when, say, Thumper's mother, like, kind of gets to him and, like, she tells him, "What did your father tell you this morning?" And, like, Thumper, like, saying, like, you know, a good quote, "If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all." And he was pretty good in the sequel, Bambi 2. I'm not kidding you, because I enjoyed Bambi 2, and, you know, it was pretty cool. We got a lot more of Thumper and also Flower, and more adventures with the trio. And even when, say, a moment where Thumper, Flower, and Bambi trying to make scary faces and, like, scary noises, you know, like Thumper's like, "Arr!" That was pretty good. So, yeah. Thumper, he's definitely another memorable Disney rabbit, and making the top 5 spot. Rabbit from Winnie the Pooh. Again, it's obvious that he had to be in this top 10 list. He's another memorable Disney rabbit, and, you know, of course, from the Winnie the Pooh stories by A.A. Milne. Rabbit, he's just, you know, he's a pretty funny rabbit, and he's always, like, trying to keep things straight, keep things tidy, you name it, and, like, at times when he has troubles with Tigger, and, you know, some clumsy situations that he gets into, he's just a funny rabbit, and not to mention, because, like, the one Winnie the Pooh direct-to-DVD movie that he was one of the stars of, Rue's Springtime with Rue, that's right, where basically it was A Christmas Carol but Easter, because basically, yeah, Rabbit being the Ebenezer Scrooge, you know, instead of Easter, you know, to him, spring cleaning. But there was a time, and as we learn in the film, that he used to love Easter, and he would portray himself as the Easter Bunny, and he would like to do things his way. But, he just wanted to keep everything straight, as that's what he was. And I don't think that he really understood the meaning of fun and for Easter until, as the film proceeds, he starts to realize, what he's been missing out. And because all because, he's blind with his, keeping things straight and tidy, like, do it this way, blah, 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 you name it. And of course, and one of my favorite Winnie the Pooh movies, the Tigger movie, where, near the end of the film, he does help out trying to find Tigger, because Tigger ran away trying to find his own family in his family tree. And Rabbit, helping out Pooh, Eeyore, Piglet, and Roo finding Tigger, and of course when they do find him. Yeah, again, because Rabbit, what a memorable Disney rabbit he is, and from the stories of Winnie the Pooh, he has some famous lines and hilarious moments, even I think a memorable line from him is, why, oh, why, or why me, why me? Yeah. So, yeah, what a great Disney rabbit character Rabbit is, and making the number 4 spot. Judy Hopps from Zootopia. Yes, of course, Judy has to be in this top 10 list. Judy is another great Disney rabbit character, and being the main character of Zootopia. And that's the thing, because at first, Zootopia was going to center on Nick Wilde, the fox. But as the film proceeded, and with test audiences, they grew more into liking Judy. The attention was put on Judy, and thus it was switched around. Zootopia still focused on Nick Wilde and, what was going on with him, but it was focusing more on Judy. She was the main star of this film, dreaming of becoming a bunny cop, not stopping and believing her dream, I should say. Until, she makes progress. And although, she starts off doing, parking duty, tickets and so on, and she really wants to do the stuff that police do, like catching bad guys and so on. And of course, she's put to the task to find the missing animals, say, Mr. Emmett Otterton. And of course, she brings Nick in because he's responsible. He's in on this too. And, all those funny and heartwarming moments between Nick and Judy, and the emotional moments, and when at one point she resigns being a police bunny cop, but then she realizes the truth about why those missing animals are going savage, because of those, berries, and she goes back to Zootopia and, brings Nick back in to help her. And of course, in the end, everything goes well. A happy ending, all the animals that were missing are cured, and yeah, both Judy and Nick are police animals. So yeah, that was a great ending right there, and they actually do police duty work, what police officers do, if anybody is driving fast, speeding down the line, chasing bad guys, you name it. Judy is definitely a memorable Disney rabbit character, and, she was just fantastic in Zootopia, and being voiced by Jennifer Goodwin from Once Upon a Time, Snow White voicing Judy Hopps. Isn't that cool? But anyways, yeah, making the number 3 spot, none other than Judy Hopps. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Of course, Oswald has to be in this top 10 list. Oswald has a very interesting history, what he has gone through, and how, he made a big comeback, especially being part of the Disney family once again. Because, Oswald came before Mickey, and unfortunately at one point, Walt Disney lost the rights to Oswald. And, thus, Walt and a bunch of other animators, secretly, created Mickey Mouse. So Mickey Mouse, as we all know, became the new official star. And, fast forward years later, like Oswald, was still having his own piece of cartoons, but at some point he just disappeared. But that's when Bob Iger, who became CEO of Disney, one of his first missions, and first tasks was to bring Oswald back to the Disney family. And he succeeded. He managed to bring Oswald back. And when Oswald became part of the Disney family again, merchandise was sold of Oswald, and Oswald would become the main antagonist of the Disney video game Epic Mickey. And it turns out that Oswald and Mickey, according to the game itself, they're actually brothers. And of course, Oswald would have change of heart and would become a good guy, especially up to the Epic Mickey sequel game. And especially as of now, Oswald has still been making a comeback. He's appeared in, I think, in one commercial, and he had his own short film that I believe, it was released on YouTube, which, it's really good. Like, definitely capturing the feel to, like, the old 1920s Disney short films, That's great. Oswald, he is definitely an important Disney rabbit in the history of Disney, I should say. He's very important, and he should not be forgotten, because as I said, he came before Mickey. So there you go. And it's really cool. I'd like to point out because as of now, Frank Welker, legendary voice actor Frank being the voice of Oswald. Who better to voice Oswald than Frank Welker? I tell ya. So that's right. Making the number 2 spot, none other than Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Roger Rabbit from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's right, making the number 1 spot is none other than Roger Rabbit himself. And why is that? Well, I know, because maybe Oswald probably should have been number 1, but still, there is something about Roger. Like, as I said about Oswald, he made a big comeback, But Roger, not really. I mean, when Who Framed Roger Rabbit came out, it was a huge success. It was a smash hit. And Michael Eisner, who was CEO at that time, felt that Roger Rabbit was to be his own Mickey Mouse. Like, Roger Rabbit at that time, was appearing in a lot of stuff. But at some point in the early 1990s, that really didn't work out. Because, well, a big feud between Michael Eisner and Steven Spielberg, all because, the second Roger Rabbit short film that was out in theaters, with a movie, of course, Roller Coaster Rabbit. Spielberg wanted to screen that with Arachnophobia, and Michael Eisner, he wanted that to be screened with Dick Tracy, and Michael Eisner won. It was screened with Dick Tracy, and that did not please Spielberg. I mean, actually, honestly, would it really have been a good idea to screen it alongside with Arachnophobia? Because that's all about spiders and, people who have arachnophobia of spiders. Like, seriously. I mean, Dick Tracy, fine, I guess, but still, arachnophobia, I don't think so, especially for the kids. Kids would probably, because I guarantee it, because kids being terrified of the movie itself. So after that happened, one more short film of Roger Rabbit came out, Trail Mix-Up, and after that, there were no more. There were a couple of other Roger Rabbit short films planned, but they all got canceled. And I think, say, around the late 90s and early 2000s, Roger just practically disappeared appearing at the Disney parks, especially when he was a part of the nighttime parade at Walt Disney World, Magic Kingdom, Spectro Magic. He was the conductor. but he got replaced later on with Genie, when Spectro Magic came back, that is. But, you know, as of now, Roger did kind of make a comeback, as he made a cameo in the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie, and how in the live-action Pinocchio film, in Geppetto's house with all the clocks, there's a clock of Roger Rabbit and with Jessica Rabbit. So that was really cool, and who knows? Who knows if Roger is going to, you know, appear in more, and if he's going to make an official comeback. It would be really nice if he were to appear in something else. Maybe something on Disney Plus, you know? Maybe just a special cartoon or something. It would be nice if he were to come back. Because Roger Rabbit, he's such a memorable, you know, Disney rabbit character, and how, you know, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the film itself, is, you know, is a really good film and an important film in movie history. No doubt about it. But yeah, so I think Roger, he definitely deserves to be in the #1 spot. But with all that being said, and in conclusion, what about you guys? What did you think of this top 10 list of the best Disney rabbits? Which one's your favorite? Leave comments and give this top 10 video a like as always. So, with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my top 10 list of the best Disney rabbits. More top 10/top 5 videos are on the way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video /top 10/top 5. Take care, peace out, and happy late Easter.